apabila KTMB telah menawarkan perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik pertamanya yang menghubungkan Tanjung Malim ke Pelabuhan Klang dan Batu Caves ke Pulau Sebang, Tampin. Perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik ini dinamakan sebagai KTM Commuter. KTM Commuter Utara memulakan operasinya pada tahun 2015 yang menghubungkan Padang Rengas ke Bukit Mertajam dan Batuwet ke Padang Besar. Perkhidmatan KTM Commuter telah menjalankan fungsi serampang dua mata apabila terbukti berjaya mengurangkan masalah kesesakan jalan raya di samping mengurangkan beban sara hidup rakyat dengan menawarkan kadar tambang berpatutan. Skypark Link merupakan perkhidmatan kereta api ekspres terhad di Kuala Lumpur. Laluannya menghubungkan dua terminal pengangkutan darat dan udara iaitu KL Central di Kuala Lumpur dan lapangan terbang Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah di Subang. Skypark Link di bawah pengurusan KTMB telah memulakan operasinya pada 1 hari bulan Mei 2018 sekaligus menjadikannya perkhidmatan kereta api kedua yang menghubungkan lapangan terbang dengan ibu kota Kuala Lumpur selepas ERL Express Rail Link. Bagi tujuan kemudahan, sebuah stesen baru telah dibina terletak berhadapan dengan lapangan terbang Subang yang dinamakan Terminal Skypark. Selain menyediakan perkhidmatan kereta api penumpang, KTMB juga masih meneruskan perkhidmatan kereta api kargo atau kereta api barang. Sistem laluannya yang strategik melalui kawasan-kawasan simpanan logistik, depo-depo kontena hingga ke pelabuhan laut menjadikan KTM Cargo sebuah sistem pengangkutan yang sangat berkesan. Bagi melahirkan generasi pelapis untuk warga kerja KTMB, Malaysian Railway Academy atau MYRA telah ditubuhkan. Dengan tenaga pengajar yang berpengalaman, pembangunan modal insan kini lebih terjamin untuk memacu sektor pengangkutan awam. Lain hulu, lain parang. Lain dahulu, lain sekarang. Begitu juga dengan KTMB. Untuk menjadi kekal relevan, KTMB telah berubah mengikut peredaran zaman. Kemodenan menuntut kita untuk bergerak dengan lebih cepat tanpa mengetepikan aspek keselesaan dan keselamatan. KTMB akan terus kekal di hati rakyat bukan semata-mata kerana sejarah perkhidmatannya, tetapi kemampuannya untuk terus cekap berkhidmat demi kepentingan dan kesejahteraan bersama. KTMB, keselamatan dan ketepatan masa adalah tanggungjawab kami.
Okey.
With the COVID-19 situation we are facing, we at LRMC are doing everything we can to keep LRT1 safe for our passengers, employees, and partners. We have intensified our disinfection activities to make sure that high-touch surfaces and high-traffic areas remain sanitary. We've also invested in tools and technologies such as UV cleaning. At LRMC, we are always looking for opportunities to innovate and be more efficient and effective in keeping LRT1 safe and reliable.
Kami po ay nagpapatupad ng karagdagang tuntunin upang lalo pong mapangalagaan ang inyong kapakanan lalong-lalo na po sa panahong ito ng krisis. dulot ng COVID-19. These additional health and
Test,
safety
1, 2,
protocols
3.
are consistent with our mission, which is to provide all of you a safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable journey. We hope for your utmost cooperation and understanding. Ingat po sa biyahe.
We believe that every creation we made is the strongest form of commitment towards changes. It is a challenge for us to create a better future, to turn dreams into reality, the dream of the people, and to provide the best solutions for the convenience. We are the first integrated train manufacturer in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. Creating the best quality of railway rolling stock has always been our goal. For over these past 30 years, Inca has been actively supporting the development for both national and international transport industries. With the highest standard of human resources and expertise in high technology of railway industry, Inca has been providing an advanced solutions for both domestic and international market. not only the best human resources, but also its advanced technology that makes Inca able to design and produce the finest product for domestic and foreign markets. Aligned with its mission to connect the world through better mobility, Inca focused itself to be an integrated rolling stock manufacturer for both rail and urban transportations.
I love my mornings. The promise of a new day. The smell of freshly brewed coffee. And yes, even the morning rush. Like many others, I take the bus. Simply because it's safe, convenient, and affordable. The best part is, I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the morning scene. The bus ride allows us to meet an array of people. And with technology, it's even easier to get information on bus services in the Klang Valley. And inquire about estimated arrival time of buses in Kuantan and around Penang. Parking and toll fees are the least of my worries when I take the bus. Plus, it's one way to help save the environment. Buses are for everyone. It's convenient, connects people to places, modern facilities, and access to travel data online. Lets me plan my journey better. I could also bring my foldie on board if I needed to. When it gets busy, the train frequency increases, reducing my waiting time. The future will also bring developments centered around transit hubs. A safe, reliable, and integrated travel network across the Klang Valley. With upgraded stations, new trains and buses. It exists to help keep Klang Valley working and growing, and to make life in this city better. Experiencing and seeing improvements made for millions of people traveling daily makes me proud to be a part of it. It can be a tough job, and we don't always get it right. But we are committed to putting our customers first. Investing in continuous improvements of our services so that you may experience a safe and comfortable journey. We are proud to serve the major cities and be a part of its future, connecting people and businesses for many years and generations to come. Today, I am part of a better tomorrow.
Tak lapuk dek hujan, tak lekang dek panas. Begitulah diibaratkan dengan sumbangan Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, KTMB, terhadap kemajuan sosioekonomi negara yang masih berterusan. Fungsinya bukan saja kekal relevan, malah berkembang pesat mengikut arus peredaran zaman. Hari ini, KTMB telah memiliki beberapa rangkaian perkhidmatan kereta api yang moden. memasuki abad ke-21, KTMB terus meluncur jauh ke hadapan dari aspek kualiti perkhidmatan dan penyediaan kemudahan. Dipacu oleh kemajuan kejuruteraan di samping ledakan komunikasi teknologi maklumat yang tiada sempadan. Kini perkhidmatan KTMB terus maju sebagai perkhidmatan pengangkutan awam bertaraf dunia. Bagi kategori kereta api penumpang, KTMB menyediakan 4 jenis perkhidmatan iaitu KTM Antarabandar, Intercity, KTM Commuter, ETS, Electric Train Service, dan Skypark Link. ETS adalah singkatan bagi Electric Train Service, bermaksud perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik. Ia dilancarkan pada bulan Ogos 2010 dengan menggunakan EMU, unit berganda elektrik. Ruang dalaman kabinnya lebih luas dan mesra pelanggan. ETS menghubungkan 2 bandar iaitu Seremban dan Ipoh melalui Kuala Lumpur. Pada tahun 2015, KTMB telah memperkenalkan ETS Express. Laluannya dilanjutkan hingga ke Padang Besar Perlis melalui Butterworth di utara semenanjung Malaysia dan ke Gemas di selatan tanah air. KTM Antarabandar telah diperkenalkan lebih sedekat yang lalu. Operasinya merentasi 3 buah negara iaitu semenanjung Malaysia, Thailand dan Singapura. Gerabatnya dilengkapi dengan katil-katil untuk kemudahan penumpang-penumpang merehatkan badan dan melelapkan mata, khususnya bagi mereka yang menempuh perjalanan jauh. Pada tahun 1995, sejarah telah tercipta apabila KTMB telah menawarkan perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik pertamanya yang menghubungkan Tanjung Malim ke Pelabuhan Klang dan Batu Caves ke Pulau Sebang, Tampin. Perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik ini dinamakan sebagai KTM Commuter. KTM Commuter Utara memulakan operasinya pada tahun 2015 yang menghubungkan Padang Rengas ke Bukit Mertajam dan Butterworth ke Padang Besar. Perkhidmatan KTM Commuter telah menjalankan fungsi serampang 2 mata apabila terbukti berjaya mengurangkan masalah kesesakan jalan raya di samping mengurangkan beban sara hidup rakyat dengan menawarkan kadar tambang berpatutan. Skypark Link merupakan perkhidmatan kereta api ekspres terhad di Kuala Lumpur. Laluannya menghubungkan 2 terminal pengangkutan darat dan udara iaitu KL Central di Kuala Lumpur dan lapangan terbang Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah di Subang. Skypark Link di bawah pengurusan KTMB telah memulakan operasinya pada 1 hari bulan Mei 2018, sekaligus menjadikannya perkhidmatan kereta api kedua yang menghubungkan lapangan terbang dengan ibu kota Kuala Lumpur selepas ERL Express Rail Link. Bagi tujuan kemudahan, sebuah stesen baru telah dibina terletak berhadapan dengan lapangan terbang Subang yang dinamakan Terminal Skypark. Selain menyediakan perkhidmatan kereta api penumpang, KTMB juga masih meneruskan perkhidmatan kereta api kargo atau kereta api barang. Sistem laluannya yang strategik melalui kawasan-kawasan simpanan logistik, depo-depo kontena hingga ke pelabuhan laut menjadikan KTM Cargo sebuah sistem pengangkutan yang sangat berkesan. Bagi melahirkan generasi pelapis untuk warga kerja KTMB, Malaysian Railway Academy atau MYRA telah ditubuhkan. Dengan tenaga pengajar yang berpengalaman, pembangunan modal insan kini lebih terjamin untuk memacu sektor pengangkutan awam. Lain hulu, lain parang. Lain dahulu, lain sekarang. Begitu juga dengan KTMB. Untuk menjadi kekal relevan, KTMB telah berubah mengikut peredaran zaman. Kemodenan menuntut kita untuk bergerak dengan lebih cepat tanpa mengetepikan aspek keselesaan dan keselamatan. KTMB akan terus kekal di hati rakyat, bukan semata-mata kerana sejarah perkhidmatannya, tetapi kemampuannya untuk terus cekap berkhidmat demi kepentingan dan kesejahteraan bersama. KTMB, keselamatan dan ketepatan masa adalah tanggungjawab kami.
With the COVID-19 situation we are facing, we at LRMC are doing everything we can to keep LRT1 safe for our passengers, employees, and partners. We have intensified our disinfection activities to make sure that high-touch surfaces and high-traffic areas remain sanitary. We've also invested in tools and technologies such as UV cleaning. At LRMC, we are always looking for opportunities to innovate and be more efficient and effective in keeping LRT1 safe and reliable.
Kami po ay nagpapatupad ng karagdagang alituntunin upang lalo pong mapangalagaan ang inyong kapakanan lalong-lalo na po sa panahong ito ng krisis dulot ng COVID-19. These additional health and safety protocols are consistent with our mission, which is to provide all of you a safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable journey. We hope for your utmost cooperation and understanding. Ingat po sa biyahe.
We believe that every creation we made is the strongest form of commitment towards changes. It is a challenge for us to create a better future, to turn dreams into reality, the dream of the people, and to provide the best solutions for the convenience. We are the first integrated train manufacturer in Indonesia and Southeast Asia. Creating the best quality of railway rolling stock has always been our goal. For over these past 30 years, Inca has been actively supporting the development for both national and international transport industries. With the highest standard of human resources and expertise in high technology of railway industry, Inca has been providing an advanced solutions for both domestic and international market. Not only the best human resources, but also its advanced technology that makes Inca able to design and produce the finest product for domestic and foreign markets. We are partners in building the future. We are continually striving to develop a better future for railway transportation's industry.
I love my mornings. The promise of a new day. The smell of freshly brewed coffee. And yes, even the morning rush. Like many others, I take the bus. Simply because it's safe, convenient, and affordable. The best part is, I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the morning scene. The bus ride allows us to meet an array of people. And with technology, it's even easier to get information on bus services in the Klang Valley. And inquire about estimated arrival time of buses in Kuantan and around Penang. Parking and toll fees are the least of my worries when I take the bus. Plus, it's one way to help save the environment. Buses are for everyone. It's convenient, connects people to places, modern facilities, and access to travel data online. Lets me plan my journey better. I could also bring my foldie on board if I needed to. When it gets busy, the train frequency increases, reducing my waiting time. The future will also bring developments centered around transit hubs. A safe, reliable, and integrated travel network across the Klang Valley. With upgraded stations, new trains and buses. It exists to help keep Klang Valley working and growing, and to make life in this city better. Experiencing and seeing improvements made for millions of people traveling daily makes me proud to be a part of it. It can be a tough job and we don't always get it right, but we are committed to putting our customers first. Investing in continuous improvements of our services so that you may experience a safe and comfortable journey. We are proud to serve the major cities and be a part of its future, connecting people and businesses for many years and generations to come. Today, I am part of a better tomorrow.
Tak lapuk dek hujan, tak lekang dek panas. Begitulah diibaratkan dengan sumbangan Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, KTMB, terhadap kemajuan sosioekonomi negara yang masih berterusan. Fungsinya bukan saja kekal relevan, malah berkembang pesat mengikut arus peredaran zaman. Hari ini, KTMB telah memiliki beberapa rangkaian perkhidmatan kereta api yang moden. Memasuki abad ke-21, KTMB terus meluncur jauh ke hadapan dari aspek kualiti perkhidmatan dan penyediaan kemudahan. Dipacu oleh kemajuan kejuruteraan di samping ledakan komunikasi teknologi maklumat yang tiada sempadan. Kini perkhidmatan KTMB terus maju sebagai perkhidmatan pengangkutan awam bertaraf dunia. Bagi kategori kereta api penumpang, KTMB menyediakan 4 jenis perkhidmatan iaitu KTM Antarabandar, Intercity, KTM Commuter, ETS, Electric Train Service, dan Skypark Link. ETS adalah singkatan bagi Electric Train Service, bermaksud perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik. Ia dilancarkan pada bulan Ogos 2010 dengan menggunakan EMU, unit berganda elektrik. Ruang dalaman kabinnya lebih luas dan mesra pelanggan. ETS menghubungkan 2 bandar iaitu Seremban dan Ipoh melalui Kuala Lumpur. Pada tahun 2015, KTMB telah memperkenalkan ETS Express. Laluannya dilanjutkan hingga ke Padang Besar Perlis melalui Butterworth di utara semenanjung Malaysia dan ke Gemas di selatan tanah air. KTM Antarabandar telah diperkenalkan lebih sedekat yang lalu. Operasinya merentasi 3 buah negara iaitu semenanjung Malaysia, Thailand dan Singapura. Gerabaknya dilengkapi dengan katil-katil untuk kemudahan penumpang-penumpang merehatkan badan dan melelapkan mata, khususnya bagi mereka yang menempuh perjalanan jauh. Pada tahun 1995, sejarah telah tercipta apabila KTMB telah menawarkan perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik pertamanya yang menghubungkan Tanjung Malim ke Pelabuhan Klang dan Batu Caves ke Pulau Sebang, Tampin. Perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik ini dinamakan sebagai KTM Commuter. KTM Commuter Utara memulakan operasinya pada tahun 2015 yang menghubungkan Padang Rengas ke Bukit Mertajam dan Butterworth ke Padang Besar. Perkhidmatan KTM Commuter telah menjalankan fungsi serampang 2 mata apabila terbukti berjaya mengurangkan masalah kesesakan jalan raya di samping mengurangkan beban sara hidup rakyat dengan menawarkan kadar tambang berpatutan. Skypark Link merupakan perkhidmatan kereta api ekspres terhad di Kuala Lumpur. Laluannya menghubungkan dua terminal pengangkutan darat Skypark Link di bawah pengurusan KTMB telah memulakan operasinya pada 1 hari bulan Mei 2018, sekaligus menjadikannya perkhidmatan kereta api kedua yang menghubungkan lapangan terbang dengan ibu kota Kuala Lumpur selepas ERL Express Rail Link. Bagi tujuan kemudahan, sebuah stesen baru telah dibina terletak berhadapan dengan lapangan terbang Subang yang dinamakan Terminal Skypark. Selain menyediakan perkhidmatan kereta api penumpang, KTMB juga masih meneruskan perkhidmatan kereta api kargo atau kereta api barang. Sistem laluannya yang strategik melalui kawasan-kawasan simpanan logistik, depo-depo kontena hingga ke pelabuhan laut menjadikan KTM Cargo sebuah sistem pengangkutan yang sangat berkesan. Bagi melahirkan generasi pelapis untuk warga kerja KTMB, Malaysian Railway Academy atau MYRA telah ditubuhkan. Dengan tenaga pengajar yang berpengalaman, pembangunan modal insan kini lebih terjamin untuk memacu sektor pengangkutan awam. Lain hulu, lain parang. Lain dahulu, lain sekarang. Begitu juga dengan KTMB. Untuk menjadi kekal relevan, KTMB telah berubah mengikut peredaran zaman.
Cik Mbak Rinda.
Halo. Hai Nopal.
Rakyat bukan semata-mata kerana sejarah perkhidmatannya, tetapi kemampuannya untuk terus cekap berkhidmat demi kepentingan dan kesejahteraan bersama. KTMB, keselamatan dan ketepatan masa adalah tanggungjawab kami.
With the COVID-19 situation we are facing, we at LRMC are doing everything we can to keep LRT1 safe for our passengers, employees, and partners. We have intensified our disinfection activities to make sure that high-touch surfaces and high-traffic areas remain sanitary. We've also invested in tools and technologies such as UV cleaning. At LRMC, we are always looking for opportunities to innovate and be more efficient and effective in keeping LRT1 safe.
Iya Mas, gimana? Ayo Pak.
Kami po ay nagpapatupad ng karagdagang alituntunin upang lalo po mapangalagaan ang inyong kapakanan, lalong-lalo na po sa panahong ito ng krisis dulot ng COVID-19. These additional health and safety protocols are consistent with our mission, which is to provide all of you a safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable journey.
Halo Pak.
Sudah 215 and understanding. Ingat po sa biyahe.
Semua siap.
everyone, good morning. Let us explain what this event is all about. Asian Yacht Railway Summit is a platform for all young professionals in railway industry in ASEAN together discussed new notions related to railway industry. And based on that premise, we try to initiate the first Asian Yacht Railway Summit today, which we expect to be a sustainable event in the future to encourage young generation in railway industry to connect one another as an Asian country. As of Asian motto, one vision, one identity, and one community. As this is the first to be held, this event today is a collaboration between some companies in railway industry. First is Industri Kereta Api Inka Indonesia, a rolling stock manufacturer under the Ministry of State-Owned Enterprise. Philippine National Railways, PNR, Philippines, a railway operator. Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, KTMB, Malaysia, a railway operator, and Light Rail Manila Corporation, LRMC, Malaysia, also a railway operator. My name is Farinda Cesariska from Inka, your today's host, and I cannot wait to introduce you to our amazing speakers and panelists. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Good morning,
Hello.
Pak Kris,
Morning.
Kak
Morning.
Firdaus, everyone. Julius, Aniza, and
Hi.
Chrissy.
Hi.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Okay. First, our first speaker is Pak Kristianto Usman, PhD, a researcher and guest lecturer in the University of Birmingham. Good morning, Pak Kris.
Morning. Morning,
How
Farinda.
are you?
Fine.
Thank you so much for joining.
Yeah. Nice to join this prestigious meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's a pleasure for us too.
Okay.
Our second speaker today is Kak Muhammad Firdaus, PTech, PMP, MEng, PEng, MIEM, a PhD candidate in rail research and also head of Heavy Maintenance Unit Prasarana Malaysia Berhad. Good morning, Kak Firdaus.
Hi, good morning.
How
good morning,
are you?
everyone. Hi,
Morning.
Hi.
Okay, maybe you would like to greet our audience today.
Hi, good morning, everyone. First of all, thank you for this opportunity. I will try my best to deliver my talk for today's event. Thank you.
Okay, and our first panelist today is Maria Krishilda Ichalnea, a senior corporate attorney, head executive assistant, chief of staff, Philippine National Railway. Good morning, Chrissy.
To be invited in this event. ASEAN Railway Summit has been my home for almost 3 years now, so I can't wait to meet the young professionals and young leaders in our industry.
Thank you, Chrissy. And the next, I would like to greet our next panelist, Ms. Kak Anizah Abdul Wahad, HR Manager at KTMB. Good morning, Kak Anizah.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you, Kak. And the next, our panelist is Julius Valenzuela. And I would like to apologize for my mistake in my previous greetings. Julius is a Senior Procurement Manager at LRMC, and it's from Philippines, not Malaysia. So I would like to express my deepest apologies for my wrong pronunciation. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. Hi,
morning,
everyone. Good morning.
Julius.
Good morning, Frank. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me also.
Thank you to our speakers and panelists, and to our audience. Thank you so much for your enthusiasm. So for your information, we expect the participants will be 150, but your enthusiasm makes us very overwhelmed that we doubled the capacity for our participants today. So thank you so much. Okay, and the next, we would like to begin our first session of presentation today.
Yep.
That will be Chris. But before that, I would like to have a little chit chat with our panelists today.
Yep.
Yes.
So I would like to ask some question maybe. So, how people commute now in your country in the pandemic? Do they still using public transport? Maybe the first, Aniza would like to answer my question.
Okay, as in Malaysia, like everyone is back to normal. You know, all the economic sectors are operating as usual. So everyone is using the public transportation as they were before the pandemic. So it's just that the Malaysians are quite obedient, you know, they still comply to the government's preventive measures. They still maintain it's no more on social distancing. It's more on physical distancing, you know. So it's like, I think it's a good thing to see. Like, it's a kind of improvement. Before this, they were not really having confidence to commute, you know, because of this pandemic, right? So now it's getting better. Everyone is using the public transportation. The rail operators, the operators of public transportation managed to gain back their confidence.
Okay, well, very nice to hear that. And for Chrissy,
yes,
how people manage their bonds in the office during pandemic area to create better teamwork? Maybe because of the pandemic, some people may be stressed out. How they support each other in your office?
Exactly. For the Philippines, it depends, no, what is the current community quarantine that is in place. So right now, the national capital region where we operate is already in the general community quarantine. So all transportation are public transportation care of the government or operated by the government is open to the public. However, there are some protocols and safety and health protocols. For example, social distancing is mandatory. And for now, it's not only the face mask, but also face shield is proven to prevent any transmission during commuting. So that is also mandatory for the public transportation.
Thank you, Chrissy. Our thoughts and prayers are with all people in Philippines, especially for PNR. I hope it's not long time in the future, so you can go back to normal again.
Exactly.
And for Julius,
my prayers are also for you.
Okay, thank you, Chrissy. And Julius, as a railway operator, maybe you could share to us what strategies to be implemented for a railway operator to bounce back.
Well, to bounce back first is we're improving. Well, our first and foremost priority is, of course, the health and safety of the passengers as well as the employees. No, so one of the strategies of LRMC is, of course, one is to improve our safety precautions. So we've bought disinfection equipment like UV lights, improve our temperature checking, improved also our in terms of support to the employees. So currently, our company is providing support in terms of conducting wellness programs, mental health awareness, and also career advices to our employees to ensure that they be motivated still to work and continue to help us improve the situation.
Okay, thank you, Julius. We all do hope that we could still survive in this pandemic, and we hope it's gonna be a normal situation like we used to be.
Yes, hopefully.
So, yeah, people commute safely without excessive panic. And yeah, we begin the first question, the first presentation from Pak Chris.
Yeah.
Pak Chris, are you ready?
Okay, ready. Thank you. Okay. Okay, can we start? Farida?
Yes.
Can we start now?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. I would like to start my presentation. First, I want to share Can I share my PowerPoint, Farinda?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. Still disabled? Can the organizer make the share screen enable for my presentation? I want to share my PowerPoint. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. In line with the theme or the topics for this summit, it's about the role of millennials in railway business in pandemic area. I would like to present my presentation about the asset and risk management for railway business development in pandemic area. This presentation is part of my umbrella research which was initiated in the UK. The research is a collaboration between University of Birmingham, my home base university in Indonesia, University of Lampung, UNILA, and also my sponsor, my scholarship sponsor is Ristek, who provide my PhD scholarship in the last 4 years of my research. Okay. This topic is expected to become a knowledge for the young people, the millennials, and this might help the millennials to understand the concept of asset risk and how to be dealt or to address the uncertainties and risk in every aspect of railway business, including if people involving as a operator, regulator, or also developer. Okay. Okay. First, I want to show you the global railway trend since 2005 and the prediction until 2025. But this prediction is before pandemic or pre-pandemic. As we can see, there are three categorized in railway trend. It's about the freight train. As we can see, the freight train with in billion ton per kilometer in the last 10 years, the growth is about 1.6% per year. Okay, and it also predict to be 1.4% per year until 2025 for the freight train. For the passenger, the growth is higher than freight. It's about 4.3% until the 2015, and it is expected to be 3.5% in the next years until 2025. And also urban rail also they has the highest growth. It's more than 5% per year. This is the condition before the pandemic. Unfortunately, the condition is not. It will not the same again. I mean, this prediction will be very different today if we calculate based on the post-pandemic condition. I just got reference from ECI Faircare forecast for there's a huge drop in 2020 European passenger rail traffic. It is estimate that the number of passengers will be dropped between 30 until 50% this year. This condition, can you imagine if the number of passengers will reduce very significant at the condition, it will affect the revenue of the company. Okay. At the same time, the company should provide the reliable service, reliable track rolling stock to the customer, and also keep the proper maintenance. Okay, and this will be a contradiction between the there is a reduced income and the ability to maintain. Okay, and this means there will be an uncertainties in asset. To manage this, we should provide an approach that can be undertake this problem. In summary, on this global railway trend, an increasing demand for the rail industry to expand capacity, availability, and to transport goods and people at higher speeds and loads. I mean, even in this pandemic, the capacity, availability, and to transport goods and people, and also the needs to higher speed and loads will be growth. Maybe not higher as previous expected, but it's still growing. Okay. Okay. To undertake this problem, I propose an approach that called asset management for railway infrastructure. First, the question is why manage your asset? Okay. The demands being placed of aging infrastructure are continually increasing, while the funding and availability of natural resources become more limited. Consequently, there is a trade-off between infrastructure condition and investment. I think this condition are facing by all of the operator, regulator, and also developer company. And due to paucity resource for managing railway infrastructure asset, some questions need to be answered, referred to SPING at 2014. Where are the assets and what they do? Okay, what condition are the assets in and how much will the cost to repair or replace them? And when should each asset be repaired and what are consequences if this doesn't happen? Okay, now refer to that question. The asset management is a structured long-term approach to answering this question and evaluating the option available in order to optimize performance and investment. Okay, and more definitive this question refer to DSI, which states the asset management is the systematic and coordinated activities and practice through which an organization optimally and sustainably manages its asset system that associate performance, risk, and expenditure over the life cycle. I mean, the asset is very related with the risk. Okay. The risk related to the uncertain performance. Okay. This is the asset management hierarchy. Okay. Most of the company is developing the asset management until the operational and tactical planning. But if the company can develop further in advanced level, they can reach the strategic planning for the asset management hierarchy. Okay. In this slide, we will talk about risk in railway business development. Okay. Risk can be defined as an effect of uncertainty, and it's often evaluated through a combination of the probability of an event occurring and its consequence or severity. Okay. And while uncertainty is where the probability nor the mode is occurrence of event is unknown. Mostly we know about the uncertainties. During the pandemic, there is uncertainties in this business. I mean, we have uncertainties in how the business can be running well. We have uncertainties in revenues. We have uncertainties how should we spending our resource, and we have uncertainties how to maintain our track system. Okay. To be dealt with this matter in a railway system, for example, urban metro, low medium speed, cross country, and high speed, the risk can be associated with defective or failed track infrastructure asset, as for example drainage or track, that may lead to severe and costly impacts. It can be flooding, derailment, which require unplanned maintenance to be allocated. Therefore, we need to transform uncertainty into quantified risk estimation. And hence, we can prioritizing preventive maintenance. I think people who are dealing with the maintenance matter know how complex, how hard to allocate the maintenance resource, because the problem is the resource always limited. Yeah. There is no unlimited resource, but the problem is how we allocate it in transparent and logical way. Okay. Therefore, in the next slide, I will describe how we would like to deal with uncertainty. Okay. There is three aspects in uncertainty that we need to examine. It's if we have very complex, very complete data, it's very easy to estimate. But the problem is mostly we have lack of data. So we need expert opinion, to probability and confidence level for our estimation. Okay. The concept that I propose to elaborate the problem is about risk-informed asset management. Okay. This assign 4 aspects. First, about performance measure to deal with likelihood of risk associated with the asset deterioration or failure. The second aspect is impact atomic magnitude to consider with the impact risk with the decision-making process. Cost-benefit analysis to inform optimal investment and asset management strategies, and also stakeholder involvement to involve stakeholder expert within the decision-making process. The differences between risk-based and risk-informed in this matter, stakeholder involvement. In the past, risk-based approach, it's like you hire an expert to analyze your problem. Okay, as for example, if you are the train operator company or train developer, you ask the risk analyst to analyze your problem, and they give us give the solution. But the problem is, how could they understand your problem deeply as your and understand your needs? Therefore, in this approach, the stakeholder involvement is required. By mean, we need to answer the question truly, not just analyze by the good graph or the good report, but how it can be answered the problem. Okay. I would like to give a sample how to implement this approach in drainage, railway drainage. We call it risk-informed drainage asset management. This framework consists 3 parts. First, it's about the engineering model. In this model, the problem related to the risk can be identified and estimate their likelihood of risk. Okay, and the second part about the cost model, based on we can estimate the social economic impact of the fail or the defective asset. Impact identification, there will be related with impact identification and estimation of the impact of the risk, and also risk values. At the end, we use the risk values by mean, let's say we have very wide network in our system, and how to prioritize which section should be maintained. Okay, based on the section that have the greatest risk, we do the appraisal with cost-benefit analysis. Which section should be maintained and what type of maintenance should be applied. Okay, this framework has been examined, and we are expecting to be applied in the UK rail network, especially network rail. But there is a long way to make it very applicable, because every system has its characteristic. I mean, if this framework need to be applied in Southeast Asia, we should refer to the real condition of our railway system. Okay. Okay. In this analysis, I'm using the integrated fault tree Monte Carlo fault tree to diagnose the causes of the failure, and the Monte Carlo to be dealt with the uncertainties. Okay. Okay. Cost-benefit analysis to do the maintenance appraisal to prioritize preventive maintenance considering drainage risks. Okay. Yeah. This is the techniques in our framework. It's called RIDA. This inform drainage asset management, because it's first is about fault tree to identify causes of failure modes, and their interrelation associated with defective or failed of railway drainage. Expert opinion to improve and validate the fault model and to identify the risk to be assessed side. Okay. Monte Carlo simulation was adopted to estimate the probability of total impact and risk value with 90% confidence level of occurrence. And in simple word, a risk-informed drainage asset management framework is can be used for helping track asset managers to plan appropriate intervention by enabling failure risk to be considered. Okay, this framework was developed for the drainage problem, but can be applied for another problem in railway business, including rolling stock, but with specific consideration in parameter, in my opinion. Okay, we do also standing quantitative and quantitative risk analysis that will utilize to screening and prioritizing risk in decision making process based on their risk values. Okay. How to use this approach? I give you an example. For example, we have the railway drainage problem and failure mode. There is 4 type of problem in drainage. It's called block drainage, collapse drainage, clog, and inadequate capacity. It can be the problem in subsurface and surface drainage. Subsurface contain pipes, catch pit and manholes, channel drain and ditches. For the subsurface, and the surface about channel drain and ditches, outfalls and culvert. Okay, this is the illustration of the problem. If we have the track, something like that, one problem is block of collapse culvert. Okay, this is the illustration of embankment. Okay, this is the normal condition, and this is when the culvert is being blocked. What's the problem or the impact of this problem? It will be a very severe problem if the system affect for the main line or the very busy line. The problem will be in cost, total failure cost. This is the kind of impact that should be considered by railway operator or railway regulator or developer. First, it's unplanned maintenance costs. We don't want this. We need something to be planned, but with unplanned maintenance, it will be very costly. We can also get the delay costs, model change costs, additional daily travel costs, property damage costs, agricultural damage costs. The list will be longer than this, but this is the most impact that can be happen. Okay. Okay. This is the illustration of the fault tree. How to analyze the problem? For example, in the C5, we call it defective or failed culvert. It can be caused by 3 problems: block culvert, collapse culvert, and inadequate of culvert. Okay. If we see D14, it can be also break down in for another causes. For example, the E1, debris infiltration. Okay, and E16 about a silting culvert. Okay, and the problem can be break down further until it cannot be taken further. This approach can be used as a diagnosis tools, diagnose the problem, the causes of the problem, and it is expecting to be a robust tool to identify the problem for every type of track problem in Europe or also in Asia or Southeast Asia. Okay. is the for the calculation we are using the Poisson process. Yeah, the assumption with the independent joint, independent even for the every type of the risk, and also we use the homogeneous Poisson process to the effect rate of occurrence, rate of specific risk, even periodic time is constant. That's the assumption. Okay? I would give an example how to use this approach for the preliminary drainage risk assessment for a section part of HSU network for the high-speed rail in the UK. First, we take a 200 homogeneous section in the Lichfield part of the HSU network, high-speed rail 2 network in the UK. Okay, and using the simulation, we can predict the probability of failure of this section. We have 0.092 but mean it's about 9.2% probability of failure. Okay, and also the cost of the failure of that section is about $6,000 for 200 meter section, and we can get the impact cost is about 0.5 million, but this is in million, yeah. 0.486 million. Okay. If you can imagine, the section can lead to this to the very costly impact. How if the section the fail section is more than 200 meters? We can calculate it very easily to define which part of the section need to be maintained. Okay. When we can get the section which is very risky, and I mean the section is need to be maintained carefully, we also can identify what the causes of the problem. Okay, for example, for this using the tonality graph, we can identify the problem. First, it's about lack of debris clean out. Okay, we know debris can be a very big problem for the drainage system. And then second is about non-ballast material infiltration, waste from the train spillage or from the train fly tripping, and also defective trash grid. Okay. By mean using this approach, we can estimate the risky section, and also we can detect or diagnose the causes of the problem. Okay. Okay. As conclusion, this risk-informed asset management approach is appropriate for managing the railway, for example, higher speed infrastructure, as it enables assessment procedure to be considered with the decision-making process. It's an effective way of dealing with uncertainty, especially in pandemic area, using expert opinion, probability, and confidence level metrics. Is suitable for identifying and quantifying the risk associated with defective or failed drainage, track asset, and another problem related to the track which can be lead to costly impact of on the railway infrastructure, and also is suitable for prioritizing maintenance while considering safety, cost, benefit, and environment. Okay, this is my reference. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Pak Chris.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay.
Well, everyone, that's the presentation from Pak Kristianto Usman, PhD, about asset and risk management for railway business development in pandemic era. Pak Chris, I'm afraid I didn't introduce you properly to our audience, so maybe you could tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, yeah, okay. 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 I'm Kristianto Usman. Yeah, I'm a lecturer and researcher. Currently, I'm working in my home base university in Indonesia, in University of Lampung, Indonesia. But I'm still involving with my with the UK University, the University of Birmingham, as also researcher and guest lecturer, where with the University of Birmingham, I'm part of the research group, namely Linear Transport Research Group, which this research group is focusing in road and rail transport. We are trying to examine the cutting edge, the robust approach for any problem in road and rail. But in my focus is in rail transport, especially in railway track system. That's it. That's my introduction, Farida. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chris.
Thank you.
We already have questions from you for you from our audience.
Sure.
First question is from Muhammad Ilham Zaifatullah.
Okay.
How to anticipate commute using trains during the current COVID pandemic era? Because train is the number one rapid transportation system in Indonesia.
Okay. In my opinion, we need to evaluate how to operate the train system during this pandemic. By mean, if we reduce the capacity, for 40%, for example, because we need the social distancing for the passenger. Okay, but that's we should also instead we should also provide more frequent train. Okay, by mean if in one train passenger we reduce the capacity, by mean we also need to relocate another the passenger to another train. Okay, by mean the challenge is how to make the train more frequent during this pandemic. By mean the revenue of the company is decreasing. Okay, but we need to provide more frequent. This is the trade-off of this condition. Maybe in this condition, the government need to give an incentive or stimulus to rail company to make they can provide the service as normal as they can. That's my answer.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chris. And thanks to Muhammad Ilham who have asked the question. We still have two more questions. The next question is from Ahmed from KTMB. How COVID-19 will dampen infrastructure development, especially in Indonesia?
Say again, Farinda.
How COVID-19 will affect infrastructure development, especially in Indonesia, or maybe greater ASEAN countries?
Yeah. I think it will affect significantly in the development of the rail infrastructure, because in railway business investment, the most important part is about the revenue stream of the business. Okay, when we are expecting that the revenue will be decreased because people tend to avoid travel or reduce the travel. By mean, for example, in a normal condition, for the investment 30 years, we are expecting to get the break even in 10 years, for example. Okay, but in this pandemic area, maybe it will be longer. Will be 15 years, 20 years to break. But in this condition, the investor need to very careful to invest, because the rail business is still promising, but they need to estimate it very carefully. It's why in my approach, I use risk-informed approach. We are proposing the probabilistic approach or decision making. By mean, for the investment, instead of just one value deterministic input for the decision maker. For example, if you invest in the project, you get, for example, 100 million US profit, for example. Okay, but using the probabilistic, you can use the range. I mean, your profit will be between 70 until 120 with a specific level of confidence. I mean, we are considering with the uncertainties, okay, during this pandemic. Okay, that's my question, Farida. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Pak Chris.
Yeah.
The next question is from IAYA, Transportation Agency.
Yeah.
So, which best for a railway operator? Is it to operate some units of their train, but on the limited time, or use the whole rolling stock, the whole train for a limited time? Maybe I can make it clearer. So, which is best between some units, but normal track, normal time, but versus whole units but lower time?
Okay. Yeah, I think it depends on the condition of railway system or the rolling stock itself, because we need also consider with the operation hours, because if we, for example, if we allocate the whole train, okay, and it will be costly, okay, it will be costly. But if we also give the limited time, it's also not the whole unit. It will be also problematic. This question, I think it's cannot be answered directly. We need to see if the problem is case per case. But in my opinion, using the limited unit will be effective if the passenger number is not so big. It's not so significant. But if the passenger is as normal, we need to combine the use of the train passenger is very smart. I mean, we should have a the train unit that as that wouldn't be operate as reserve. Okay, we cannot use all. We need to reserve, but how to reserve, how many trains have to be reserved, we should analyze further.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chris.
Yeah.
Maybe can we share your presentation to our audience?
Sure. I will give it to the committee, the organizer after this meeting, the PDF, and if people need to read it, please, no worries. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Pak Chris, and thank you so much for our audience for your questions. For another questions, you can email to Pak Chris.
Yeah.
At kristianto.usman@eng.unila.ac.id.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Pak Chris. Now we'll begin
Thank you very much.
An interactive discussion with our panelists. So, hello again, Julius, Chrissy, and Aniza.
Hi.
Hi.
We would like to invite you if you have questions or you would like to comment about Pak Chris' presentation.
Yes. Can I go first?
Yes,
Sure.
of course.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Chrissy.
Sure.
Good morning, Mr. Chris. Hello po. Good morning.
Hello.
So
Good morning, Maria.
Good morning. So the risk imposed by the pandemic is, of course, I think no operator is that able to foresee or even make it to the plan, into the risk management plan, because all the ISO management base do have this risk management. However, we did not expect anything as big as this pandemic. No? So looking forward, what do you think would be the changes in the line of operation and the design that will be posed or that should be put into place by railway operators to just make the railway future ready? Any particular changes in how we operate or the materials to be used in the railway asset, including the infrastructure asset? Do you think what are those that could be changed or adopted?
Yeah, this is a very good question, Mariam. Okay, because the challenge with from the risk management of especially or the maintenance point of view, because we can divide the risk management application for the existing infrastructure and also the investment infrastructure. Okay, what will we build? What can we build in the future? For the existing infrastructure, related to the approach, we need to apply the smart maintenance infrastructure. I mean, we need to reduce the conventional way to maintain our asset, because the normal way we send our technician and close the section and will be costly. Okay, and sometimes we don't really know where the problem is. Okay, if my approach combined with the smart infrastructure, for example, using a sensor in track, in the embankment, in the cutting, or with link the cloud system, we can detect the problem very in reliable time, and we can apply the maintenance very effectively. I mean, we won't become a firefighter when there's problem and it will be huge problem, but we detect previously. I mean, we should apply the preventive maintenance. Okay, but this can be useful for the company by reduce the maintenance costs. Okay, because the problem during the pandemic is we should saving. Okay, we should save our resource. Okay, we don't need to waste our resource. Okay, that's my opinion about that. But for the new investment, we should use the approach that also considering uncertainties. Okay, I mean, if you invest the new line or the new section in your network, previously, for example, you optimize this line will be used by 1 million passengers, for example. Okay, but how can be sure with the estimation? How if during the pandemic you cannot reach to 1 million? You just have 500,000. Okay, you should consider the uncertainties in your investment. I mean, when the result is not as ideal as what you want, as what you expected, that you can anticipate the problem. That's my opinion about the how to build up with this condition, Maria. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Pak Chris.
Okay.
Aniza or Julius, maybe you would like to ask some questions?
Miss Aniza, do you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Julius. Mr. Chris, just wondering, just now you did mention about, what you call that, the stimulus package provided by the government, right? So could you just share us more a bit on what the government has provided in the UK or perhaps in Indonesia as well? Okay,
yeah. For the stimulus, as far as I know, for Indonesian Railway, because they have closed down about more than 3 months. Okay, there is no passenger at the time, and I just get the information last month. The government give some incentive to the train operator to pay the employee at the core, because there is no revenue, but the company still should pay, or because there is no policy to fire the officer or the technician. The government provide the stimulus or the incentive to the company for the payment. Okay. In the UK, they give the some also the stimulus, but in the UK, I think the train operator still in the last 3 months they limited the track system, but in some section they are still running. There is no total close down in the UK. For the main line they are still operating, but they still give the stimulus on incentive also for the company, because I think they won't survive without the stimulus at this time. Okay, yeah. I don't know, how about in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, of course. We need to pay our employees. There's no issue on retrenchment. We did not lay off our employees.
Yeah.
Of course, we did receive some incentives from the government to survive.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have to close down, right? You need to survive.
Because finding the proper resource in railway industry is very, very hard. So number of people involving in this industry is very less. We need to maintain and keep them, not to go to anywhere.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Aniza and Pak Chris. And Julius?
Okay, so for me, I just like to congratulate Mr. Chris for the wonderful presentation. And I'd like to agree with you that it's very important for rail companies or rail operators to consider a proper risk management program to ensure that we really consider all the risks and involve, of course, the stakeholders. So I just like to share also on our case with LRMC in Philippines. Okay. That I remember the question before of one of the audience in terms of which one's better. Running limited units with full in terms of full time, or running the full units in a limited capacity. So I agree with you that it's a case-to-case basis na. So on our end, we did a cost-benefit analysis on that part. Okay. So based on our analysis, by the end of the year, because basically we've just again gained return to operations just around 3 days ago. So at a very limited capacity. Thank you. And hopefully it continues to improve now. So, however, of course, because of the pandemic and because of the social distancing, our capacity was limited to only around 12 to 13%. It's the mandate of the government to ensure the safety of the passengers. With that in mind, our daily ridership was supposedly around, prior COVID, is around 500,000 passengers a day. And then now it goes down to around just 80,000 a day. 80,000, okay. Yes. But with that, what we did was increase the headway, meaning like what you mentioned before. To ensure that there are many trains, or at least the next train will arrive in a shorter period of time, so we can accommodate many more passengers. Because as the economy starts opening up in the Philippines now, we expect these people to use, of course, the mass transit. And for me, I agree with you that it's really a case-to-case basis. And on our end, what we did was we operated the full quantity, full units, but in a limited time, of course. Okay.
I think that is very, very good approach, Julius. That using the cost benefit, you can provide a transparent explanation to people. But I mean, because the problem is if the decision maker is justified by feelings, not the analysis. That's the problem. When you use the clear parameter, it's very, 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 very good and very transparent. That's I'm using the cost benefit analysis. That I totally agree with you. Good approach.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Chris, and thank you to our panelists. Well, that's all about the presentation from Pak Chris about asset management in railway manufacture. Thank you so much for all audience for your interactive questions. Thank you so much for staying with us until this hour. It's Zoom and of course on the YouTube channel. The next on, we will go with the second presentation from Kak Firdaus. But before that, we have some videos for you to watch.
love my mornings. The promise of a new day. The smell of freshly brewed coffee. And yes, even the morning rush. Like many others, I take the bus. Simply because it's safe, convenient, and affordable. The best part is, I can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the morning scene. The bus ride allows us to meet an array of people. And with technology, it's even easier to get information on bus services in the Klang Valley. And inquire about estimated arrival time of buses in Kuantan and around Penang. Parking and toll fees are the least of my worries when I take the bus. Plus, it's one way to help save the environment. Buses are for everyone. It's convenient, connects people to places, modern facilities, and access to travel data online. Lets me plan my journey better. I could also bring my foldy on board if I needed to. When it gets busy, the train frequency increases, reducing my waiting time. The future will also bring developments centered around transit hubs. A safe, reliable, and integrated travel network across the Klang Valley. With upgraded stations, new trains and buses. It exists to help keep Klang Valley working and growing, and to make life in this city better. Experiencing and seeing improvements made for millions of people traveling daily makes me proud to be a part of it. It can be a tough job and we don't always get it right, but we are committed to putting our customers first. Investing in continuous improvements of our services so that you may experience a safe and comfortable journey. We are proud to serve the major cities and be a part of its future, connecting people and businesses for many years and generations to come. Today, I am part of a better tomorrow.
Hello, good morning, Kak Firdaus.
Hi, hello, good morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So, maybe you would like to introduce yourself briefly to our audience this morning to get to know you better.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. So, my name is Muhammad Firdaus. I'm working with Prasana Malaysia Berhad, and recently I'm also doing research in railway focusing on maintenance optimization. So I hope today I can contribute something to the youth community for Asia and we can work together in developing better future. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So my friends have been curious actually. So we see that you got a lot of academic titles. So, are you a learner? Do you really love to learn?
Okay, to answer that, actually when we are working, there are some knowledge gap between what we are practicing and what are the knowledge available in the market. Therefore, I further my study to close that gap. That is the main purpose. It's not only about the certificate, it's about how to elevate our mind through the certification. That is the main reason why I keep further study, because leader are learner. So in order to be a good leader, you must keep learning. Thank you.
Okay. That's really interesting insight. So never stop learning.
Yeah.
Okay, it's your time to present your presentation.
Right.
Please welcome audience Kak Firdaus. He will speak about urban rail operation management in the new normal.
Yeah. So should I turn my screen?
Yes, you can share your screen now.
Okay. So how do it look? All are okay? So you can see my script, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I will start from now.
Yes.
Okay. So Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. So thank you for this opportunity to share the knowledge with all of you. So let me start with this. Actually, I want to ask you one question. What is the thing constant in life? Because we are online, so you cannot give the answer. So the answer is oops, sorry. Okay, the only thing constant in life is change. So, are you ready for this change? So, as we know, now we are dealing with the pandemic era, also called as a new normal. So, either we are ready or not, things constantly change. So, we have to adopt and adapt the changes. Some say either we are growing older or we are growing better. So, I believe that all of us now are looking for growing better. So, anyone know about bullet train thinking? Okay, bullet train thinking is a philosophy used by Japanese government after World War II. The point is they want to move people from Osaka to Tokyo. That's consume 515 kilometers. So in order to decrease the travel times and to improve the economy, the government has called all the finest engineers in Japan to innovate and invent something in order to minimize the traveling time. So luckily and finally they are able to reduce traveling time from 20 hours to 4 hours. So for me, it is a very significant amount of reduction. So the achievement was critically to Japanese economic growth well into the 80s and beyond. So there is a starting point or turning point of the bullet train in the world. What we can learn as a younger. So Japanese government, they want their people to have a growth mindset. So same to us, we also need to have that growth mindset. As spoken by Dr. Cristianto, rail transportation system always been a nation backbone that move the people, economy and the country as a one. Railway is about the public and nation. Research shown rail is vital from the UK economy. Not only does it get us from A to B, but it supports jobs across the nation. Okay, first half I will share about pandemic era, how pandemic impact to our life and railway business. Second, opportunity to use technology to minimize the impact. Third is about for society, how we as a railway players could contribute back to the society. Second half, I will elaborate more about the impact of pandemic to operation management, or also known as the new normal. And then finally, it's about future technology that could help on run a railway business in a new era. So this is what happening all around the world. So what is our role in developing the rail business in the pandemic era? So as we know, this is a common practice. So how to prevent coronavirus, such as wash your hands, wear a face mask, and then the best place to stay is stay at your home. And then, given the direction by the World Health Organization, wash your hand to prevent coronavirus before going on public transportation, after touching doors, after making contact, before touching your eyes, nose or mouth, and finally when you arrive at your destination. This one we already know. Then the impact is our public transport usage. As we can see from March, there is a decline in the ridership. However, it's keep climbing up starting from July. It's not only happened for Asian region, it's also happening all around the world. This is our challenge. So, for today, I would like to share about invisible issues, something that people doesn't know or do not know. And we as a railway player, we are dealing with it. So our role in developing the era business in the pandemic era, I am focusing on the operation management. How the pandemic impact our maintenance, impact our inventory management, impact our supply chain management, our design of goods, and so on. I will further elaborate for this pillar in my next slide. So, technology. Technology is divided by two. It's called as a technology push and market pull. For technology push, referring to new invention is pushed to research and development and only been pushed into the market. However, market pull, referring to an innovation to develop new technology in response to an identified market need. So we are now at market pull, which is we have to create something in order to help the community or the society to minimize the impact of COVID. So before this, some of the nowadays issues about global warming, about combating climate change, about to reduce carbon footprint. Now, we also have to deal on how to minimize the impact of COVID-19. So when we are talking about technology, we are facing challenging time. One of the challenge is to get our customer trust to use our metros, especially for train operating company. For instance, we could use technology to gain the interest and confidence by body temperature scanning, technology, ticketless system, cashless system, or QR scanning for better traceability. And then many more available technology could be used and introduced, especially by younger generation through innovation and invention of new technology. Such as we know, we have Industrial Revolution 4.0. Let me start with this. In Industrial Revolution, we have a few pillars, such as big data, augmented reality, Internet of Things, cloud computing, cyber security, system integration, adaptive manufacturing, or so-called as a 3D printing, simulation, and autonomous system. So how does Industry 4.0 contribute to operation management? For instance, for today, we are able to perform webinar. As we are noticed, all of us come from all across the country in Asian region. So by using the technology, for this is about Internet of Things, we are able to minimize the contact, but we maximizing the participant. That is the use of technology. Okay, next I would like to talk about society. The point is how to use the technology for the betterment of society. Definition of society, a large group of people who live together in an organized way, making decisions about how to do things and sharing the work that needs to be done. But society is not limited to our friend, our neighbor, or our colleague at our working place. It's more than that. So we are come from the industry. So what is the relation? So we are working for sustainable society, balance on intellectual. For today, we are focusing to the young intellectual, for the young generation, technology, society, and nation. For instance, by introducing a new product, it's not just about making profit. but it also has to contribute to the betterment of the society. And at the same time, we are able to preserve the nature. That is the key point. Okay, so what operation management is all about? This is a definition of operation management by Canton. Operation management is the administration of business practice to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. So, we are working with organizations that apply operation management. So, the output of operation management, either goods or services. For my cases, we are producing services to our community, to our country. So we are not only moving people from one point to the another point, we are also contributing to the generation of economy. That is the most important thing of public transportation, that what we are working for. Okay, next is about company profile. So I am from here, Prasana Malaysia Berhad. If you would like to know more about my company, you can go to the website or the Facebook, Instagram, and the Twitter. Okay, everything have a basis. So, operation management, let me share something about the basis, because of I want after this program or the webinar, all of us, we get something new, at least one thing, and then we can practice in our daily work. So what is operation management? As I mentioned, they have a few pillars. So we have to analyze and try to anticipate on what is the impact of pandemic to scheduling, to maintenance, to inventory management, to our supply chain. For instance, for sure, if we have something need to be done, we must have our supply chain or our vendor. Is our vendor impacted by the pandemic? If yes, maybe the output from that vendor may be delayed. And then we, as a youngest or as a young manager, we have to anticipate that. If needed, we have to call that vendor to the meeting. Please make some mitigation plan, because this thing is out of our control, but we are able to minimize the impact. Okay, other pillar of operation management is about design of goods and service. So due to the pandemic, do we need to design something new or readjust our goods? And then process and capacity design, job design and human resources. So for instance, before this, we are going interview face-to-face. Maybe due to the pandemic, we have to conduct it online. So this is the changes or the new normal. Okay. Next point is about layout design and strategy. So for some company, because of space constraint, they are not able to practice social distancing. They have to make maybe 2 shifts in order to accumulate the numbers of people they have, the workforce they have, and the space they have. That is under layout design and strategy. And maybe the location strategy. Our operation or our production is impacted by pandemic. If yes, maybe we have to find a new location if we are involving in the production. And then finally is about scheduling. If our production is impacted by due to the supply chain, so we have to rearrange our schedule. So this is a pillar of operation management. So what is function? Under operation management, they will have 3 main things needs to be considered. First is marketing. Why we need marketing? Because we want to generate the demand, the needs. And then second, we have production or operation, which create or produce and deliver the product. And finally, we have a finance or accounting, that we keep track how well the organization is doing, pay the bills, and collect the money. So this is the 3 main pillars. Either you are working with railway industry, or you are working with commercial bank, airlines, or manufacturing. All of these are using the same basis of operation management. These functions are the necessary ingredient for operation management. Okay, why we have to study operation management? As a younger or the new millennial that will contribute or shape the future of industry, we are studying operation management is interrelated to all other business functions. So by doing this, you know how organization work. We want to know how goods and services are produced, We want to understand what operation manager do, and we study operation management because it is such a costly part of an organization. It's not about to accumulate the asset, but it's also about how we are able to maintain the asset by using proper operation management. So this is the concept of significant event in operation management introduced by Heiser. So at early 1917, they are focusing on the cost focus, and then the next era from 1980 to 1995, they are focusing on quality focus. Then next is about 1995 to 2005, they are focusing on customization focus, and recently 2005 to 2020, they are focusing on globalization focus. However, due to the pandemic, maybe this concept needs to be adjusted. So from 2020 onward, lot of research opportunity or study needs to be conducted either by researcher from university or industry for the impact of the new normal of operation management. So this is a lot of opportunity for us to be venture. Okay, this is a 10 strategy operation management decision. So we are looking for the product design, quality management process and capacity design, location strategy, layout strategy, or the others. So for today, I will focus on supply chain management. Okay, this is our train. I'm working with it. So even though we are at Malaysia, as at a bottom, but all of our supply chains come from all across the country. For instance, from Canada, from UK, France, Germany, and Turkey. Therefore, in order to have a good maintenance plan and execution work, those supply material must be ready on time. So due to the pandemic, or so-called the new normal, we have to adjust the way we are work, the way we are planning, the way we are executing the task in order to balance between the previous practice and the new practice because of the pandemic. So this just for example. If you are the train manufacturer, maybe the scenario is almost same because you are dealing with others, vendors too. So we collectively have to discuss and find the best way on how to mitigate the delay if happen, or how to improve the process for the better operation management. Okay, as what has been asked by organizer, so for today, I would like to introduce, or I would like to encourage young professional or youth to go for the competency certificate. As I mentioned before, it's not only about certificate. It's only how, when you are enrolled some program that involve competency, that program will elevate the way of your thinking. That is the main point. So for instance, if you would like to join or you would like to explore, you may go to the Association for Operation Management, American Society of Quality Institution for Supply Management, and for mine, I'm go for the Project Management Institution. So there are a lot of well-known institutions that can certify your competency. Then at the same time, you are able to elevate the way of your thinking. Okay, this is an organization chart on how operation management works. So we have power distribution for the train operating company. We have signaling, we have track network, we have rolling stock, we have operation control center who are controlling the train, and then we have train and station management who are deal with our customer. And then we have a strategic functional department, so-called as supply chain, managing revenue services, managing staff competency, and so on. So this all functional department, who will be the person to be fit into this functional department? All of us, because we are the younger. And then the organization needs our skill, our knowledge to contribute for the betterment of the organization too. So by helping and ensure that we can contribute to the organization, at the same time, for sure, we will contribute to the betterment of the society too. Okay, next is about rail transportation. Okay, this is what we call as a national transportation policy used by Malaysia. So what I want to emphasize here, if you can see on the graph or infographic, for urban rail, back to 1995, we have none. However, in 2016, we have 221 kilometers. It's needed to improve connectivity and to reduce carbon footprint for the betterment of the society too. So, the good news is we are venturing, all of us, especially in railway industry, we are venturing into high growth emerging business market. The rail network will be further expanded and you all as a young generation will future shape the needs and the direction of the country. If this happened to my country, I believe all of the Asian region will have the same practice too. So the emerging of railway network. So as I mentioned before, we will share about the next technology or what technology available now to help our organization and at the same time to minimize the impact of pandemic. So we have autonomous system, which is automatic train system, driverless train proven to be more reliable and safer. Besides that, enable more flexibility of fleet deployment at any given time. And then we have big data, change in maintenance. If you are noticed, now industry are moving from 2F to 2P. So what if 2F? 2F is about fail and fix approach or conventional approach. But now due to the big data, we are moving to 2P, predict and prevent approach by using machine learning. And then finally, for instance, we have Internet of Things. So we are able to digitize and perform smart partnering through supply chain management. So what are in progress? So we have colorless public transport. Public transport should not have any social barrier. London, Hong Kong and Singapore are very much advanced in educating their citizens to appreciate the public service. And then we have common ticketing system, one ticketing system for all services. It is easy and convenient. And then this one is not really related to the pandemic. However, this will be the business, the future business model that we call as a transit-oriented development to channel up property industry in Malaysia, especially into new dimension. With the introduction of TOD concept, transit-oriented development, developer could work together with transportation stakeholders to venture into developing properties that serve as neighborhood center, which have all the basic facilities such as banking, post office, restaurant, a mall and everything that is built under transit-oriented development. So, future rail technology. According to ARUP, this is the future rail technology. So, what are the technology to become dominant in the railway market? For instance, we have advanced nanotechnology. This one could lead to new material that are lighter, stronger and greener. Okay, second is a virtual shopping mall will become more common, especially in metro station. This will help when we are walking back from our work. It's very convenient for us to just a shopping by using a virtual shopping mall. And then energy from football, a unique method on harnessing renewable energy. Electricity from footstep will be used on site or feed into the grid. So we are not just stepping or working at the station, we are contributing to the better and greener technology too. Okay, next is about ticketless technology. As you can see, for future, maybe, perhaps that with this technology, it could decrease travel time and to cultivate the good behavior too. So if you have a valid or legitimate or authorized ticket or so-called apps or something infrared technology, you can go walk through to the station. However, if you doesn't have, it will mark with a red point. So people will know that, oh, this person do not have the legitimate or the access to the station. So it's very good because there are no gate and everything, so it could decrease the travel time as well. And then we have monitoring drones technology, using drones for monitoring purposes. Okay, this is about mobility trends. This one, I also take it from National Transportation Policy. The trend number one is about growing and increased aging population. Second is about increasing urbanization. And then third is about advance in real time. Advance is real time information and digitization. So the next is about expansion of commerce market, shift toward environmentally sustainable transport. So, which all of the available technology which I have presented to you, these are the 8 future trends that have been identified in the National Transportation Policy for Malaysia that we need to face off as a challenge. So I believe that the trend could be similar to your country too, if not now, maybe in the future. So as a young professional or youth, we must have the ability to anticipate and to focus about the future needs in the railway business. So a few like aging population, increasing urbanization, and advance in real-time information. So the new normal. Okay, let's say if you want to go from one point to another point, by having real-time information, you can simply check the schedule, or you can properly plan if they have disruption in the services. So you can easily replan your journey by using the available technology. That is the main point, and how we can use that technology to facing the new normal. So having said that, I leave all of the challenge for us to think about and to come out with a viable solution for the sake of Asian nation. So, for collaboration and networking, I will greatly appreciate for your kind feedback for me to continuously improve. And then feel free to scan the QR code, and then it will direct you to my LinkedIn profile, so we can further discuss on what maybe for the networking, maybe to find a solution for your problem, or we can together improve our railway business. And then your future is defined by what you do today, not tomorrow. So let me close with this. The future is depending on the present, and the present is all of us, especially the younger generation. So let's work together for the betterment of the future, and we can contribute all together collectively for the benefit of Asian nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kak Firdaus, for your presentation. So we have questions for you from our audience. The first is from Suhaimi Yaakob, CEO of KTMB. One pattern we see is that moving people in large volumes may not necessarily be the best solutions, especially in this pandemic era. So future transport system, we will see change towards smaller capacity. So could you share your opinion about that?
Okay. First of all, thank you for having that question. So I will try my best to answer. So from my point of view, maybe for future, the question is about to move a large or huge group of people at the same time, correct? So I believe in the future, if we are able to minimize the operating costs and the operation management, maybe we can add on some asset. So we will have more train or rolling stock to be used in our system. That is one point, by minimizing or optimizing the cost. Second thing, maybe in the future, people will have the mindset that they want to use public transportation instead of their own instead of their own car, provided our network that we can serve to the nation is very good, which is when you are going out of your home, they have some vehicles stay for you. And then at the same time, when you want to work from your home to the station, they have another vehicle, either it's a buses or it's some kind of motorcycle or everything, the new normal, that can help to move you from home to the station. So from the station, I believe, in order to reduce the huge number of users, as we know now, due to the pandemic, most of us are encouraged to work from home. So maybe the trend of work from home will be common in the future, maybe, and it could be. So by having flexibility working hour, I believe that maybe we can manage the huge volume of passenger, and then it will reduce the waiting time as well. So that is my point of view.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firdaus. The next question is from Gali, from Alstom. So how pandemic will impact current revenue in all of most countries in ASEAN, in Greater ASEAN, but how about the ongoing project in ASEAN? Is it on hold for now or still ongoing with some efficiency?
Okay. Actually, I will try to answer because that's one cover the whole ASEAN. So as we know, as I mentioned before, under operation management, due to the pandemic, they will cause the supply disruption. So maybe at our industry, government impose some restriction in order to control people movement. So for sure, due to that impact, either through the supply chain or to the reduction of the workforce due to the certain limitation imposed by the government, so it will impact the project or so-called as a development in any country. So we cannot deny. However, due to the technology available in the market, maybe instead of go for the physical meeting, we can have an online meeting. So that's why by using technology, we are able to mitigate something. So for production, maybe due to the restriction, people cannot work at that time. But with a proper arrangement, people can work from home. So they have some way or some plan can be introduced. But for the physical construction work, if we cannot perform that for the time being, maybe in the future, we have to perform either crashing or fast-tracking project in order to meet the deadline. So that is my answer for the second question.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firdaus. And the next question, according to the new normal, what kind of safety precautions has been taken by Malaysian Railway?
Actually, this question has been answered by the previous panelists, but I would like to share. The common practice now, you have to wear the face mask, for instance, and then you have to always sanitize your hand, and then you have to practice social distancing, and then please try to avoid crowded place. And then maybe for me, it's not about the rule set by government only, but it's about our self-awareness. So we have to take care about ourselves, and then maybe if we are not well, so please take care of others too by stay at home. So at least you are not being a carrier, and then at the same time you are protecting others. So the best part is for now is stay at home unless you have any urgency need to be done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firdaus. And just like Pak Chris, could we share your presentation to our audience after this event?
Sure. I will share the link with adjustment, and then I will give it to the organizer. If anyone interested to collaborate or to know more about content in the slide or something that we can work together. So please send email to me.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firdaus. Thank you for all the audience for your questions. And now we begin to have an interactive discussion with our panelists. And we would like to invite our three panelists. Hello, Chrissy, Julius, and Anza. Thank you for staying with us.
Hi.
Hello. So who would like to be the first to comment or ask questions to Kak Firdaus?
Okay, can I go
Aniza,
first?
maybe?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So I'm just interested on what Mr. Firdaus mentioned just now on the usage of drone. Even in KTMB, on the HR side, on the HR perspective, of course, we did have a conversation with the technical departments, how long would KTMB go for recruiting youngsters to be, track laborers, to be patrolmen, because the network of KTMB is large. The KTMB's network is like almost covering the entire Malaysia. So can you imagine the job of being a track laborer, the job of being a patrolman is almost the favorite of youngsters nowadays. So we did have that conversation suggesting to the technical departments to go on to look on how can we make use of the drone technology. I'm quite eager to see if one day in future KTMB is already using that kind of technology. It's like, from traditional way of inspecting the track, and now or in future we already have the drone doing that job.
Okay, so for that, I believe application of drone is not only applicable for our industry, it's also applicable for any other industry that needs for physical inspection. So for your question, I think this is the correct time to use that kind of technology in order to minimize the contact between human to human by using machine, or we call it as a drone as well. So maybe for start, I can suggest you try to support your technical team, maybe not to cover the entire network.
Of course.
So maybe we can focus on urban rail first. Okay, use it for the urban rail, just instance for Klang Valley, and then we can monitor the effectiveness, because something that we can measure, we can improve. So by start with a small scale as a pilot study, or so-called as a dry run. So try to measure the effectiveness. If by using that small portion of practicality shown that we are able to improve our efficiency, then we can go for the large scale. What I believe that you know about the snowball effect.
Yes,
so in order to adapt the new technology, it's not just go up to the maximum level. We can start with the minimum level first. Maybe we can start first, and then we evaluate the effectiveness. If it is proven by using technology, we can improve our efficiency, then we can go on for the entire of Malaysia network. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Firdaus. I hope my technical mates are hearing this.
Okay, I support it.
Okay, thank you, Kak Firdaus and Aniza. Next on, we would like to invite Julius.
Oh, okay. So for me, I just like to agree on the presentation, especially on the operations management. That one of the critical points there is the impact of the pandemic in the supply chain. Because me myself is a supply chain practitioner, so I basically handle the supply chain in our organization. So it's very important to really know where the pain points are. Because basically in our case, for the supply chain, the logistics is not that hard, because all the ports are open across all countries. Our pain points are on the suppliers themselves, the manufacturers that were affected by the lockdown. So the production of the spare parts were affected, thus affecting also the maintenance of these train sets, then again affecting the operations as a whole of our system. So so what we did is basically to assess first our priorities in terms of capital expenditures. So which ones are we want to invest on? Because we, aside from running our original line, we are currently expanding supposedly for another around 8 kilometers. So I agree that the pandemic hit it hard, basically all the infrastructure projects. For us, it got delayed. But like what you said, we did some online meetings and everything. So the project is moving, but not as fast as we initially expected. But the good thing is at least it's moving. And we hopefully, as we continue opening up the economy in the Philippines, we will continue to start increasing the production and the efficiency of the projects.
Yeah. So actually, Mr. Julius is a subject matter expert for the supply chain management. And then I am totally agree what he was commenting. So for now, we have to try to find the best way, or for my opinion, we as an employer, and then when we are dealing with our vendor or contractor, we have to find the best way on how to move forward. So maybe by having a more discussion and then find the best way, prioritize the activity, and then try to minimize the impact. It's not only for our operation, it's also to maximize their production by helping them. So through discussion. So I believe that this new era technology and leadership skill, the communication is the best way to find the best solution. Yes. So the traditional way, there is the past, but the new age leadership try to discuss, and then we try to mitigate and find the best way that could give a win-win situation for the both, for the owner and then for the contractor as well. So I agree with you, right?
Thank you.
Thank you, Julius and Kak Firdaus. Next on, Tracy.
Yes, just like Julius and Anissa, I totally agree with the total presentation and all the topics that was discussed. But again, highlighting on the role of the millennials during this pandemic. As a millennials, which are born approximately from 1982 to 2000, we are born into the technology. So meaning we are accustomed to that technology and we're born into it. But it's a matter of improving the mindset of this young or of the young professionals or the young leaders to really maximize the role of technology and the Internet of Things in dealing with their daily lives and improving the operation, not only in the railway, but on the totality of improving the way we live, especially during this pandemic. So in PNR, during this pandemic, I just want to share that the role of the millennials was highlighted, particularly because in the community quarantine, all those who are senior citizen, old age, those who have comorbidities, who are not allowed to go outside their home, so they cannot physically report to work. So most of our manpower are ranging within that generation of the millennials, and it pushed us actually to become mature in our decision making and to really maximize the technology, not just to use it as a platform for social media, but really a platform to learn. There are a lot of online education, like what was shared by our speaker, like training, seminar, webinars that we ask our young professionals to attend to. And there's also a shift in conducting meetings just to pursue or continue with the work. And the technological know-how of the millennials really help in providing and in pursuing all our projects, although there are delays, but it really helps us in pursuing all our projects. So that is for the PNR. So really, it is an important reminder for all our guests and for all our viewers who are considered as young leaders, young professionals, millennials, to take advantage of the technology that we are into, not only to use it as a social media platform, but really to help out how we decide. And this is our future actually. So we invest now, so it is an investment of our future. So again, I really admire the presentation and really believe that the role of the millennials in railway operation will really improves. In fact, most of our key manager, for example, our operation is now headed by a millennial, our OIC. So there's a really impact on being mature in decision making and pushing forward to being knowledgeable, and not only in the operation side but in the leadership side.
So yes, I am totally agree. So perhaps by having this platform, all of organization out there can give a more opportunity to the younger, and then give us some platform to perform our roles. Because I believe that we know that at least we can contribute something to the organization, and output from that, we also can contribute to the betterment of the society too. Right.
Yes. Totally agree.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, thank you for problems encountered. Thank you for staying with us. So Chrissy and Kak Firdaus, thank you for your insight. Maybe Kak Firdaus haven't had a chance to answer it, but thank you so much Chrissy for the opportunity and for your questions. So I would like to conclude from our two previous speakers. The insight from Pak Chris is about it is very important to collect data to get and manage the risk, inform management for railway industry. And from Kak Firdaus as well, the insight that is very important for us, young generation, is don't be afraid to take certification program. It's not all about the certificate, but it's about to elevate the way we think. Okay, well, everyone, thank you again for staying with us. After this, we will begin an interactive discussion with our panelists. But before that, we have some videos for you to enjoy. Please watch.
Tak lapuk dek hujan, tak lekang dek panas. Begitulah diibaratkan dengan sumbangan Kereta Api Tanah Melayu Berhad, KTMB, terhadap kemajuan sosioekonomi negara yang masih berterusan. Fungsinya bukan saja kekal relevan, malah berkembang pesat mengikut arus peredaran zaman. Hari ini, KTMB telah memiliki beberapa rangkaian perkhidmatan kereta api yang moden. Memasuki abad ke-21, KTMB terus meluncur jauh ke hadapan dari aspek kualiti perkhidmatan dan penyediaan kemudahan. Dipacu oleh kemajuan kejuruteraan di samping ledakan komunikasi teknologi maklumat yang tiada sempadan. Kini perkhidmatan KTMB terus maju sebagai perkhidmatan pengangkutan awam bertaraf dunia. Bagi kategori kereta api penumpang, KTMB menyediakan 4 jenis perkhidmatan iaitu KTM Antarabandar, Intercity, KTM Commuter, ETS, Electric Train Service dan Skypark Link. ETS adalah singkatan bagi Electric Train Service, bermaksud perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik. Ia dilancarkan pada bulan Ogos 2010 dengan menggunakan EMU, unit berganda elektrik. Ruang dalaman kabinnya lebih luas dan mesra pelanggan. ETS menghubungkan 2 bandar iaitu Seremban dan Ipoh melalui Kuala Lumpur. Pada tahun 2015, KTMB telah memperkenalkan ETS Express. Laluannya dilanjutkan hingga ke Padang Besar Perlis melalui Butterworth di utara semenanjung Malaysia dan ke Gemas di selatan tanah air. KTM Antarabandar telah diperkenalkan lebih sedekat yang lalu. Operasinya merentasi 3 buah negara iaitu Semenanjung Malaysia, Thailand dan Singapura. Gerabatnya dilengkapi dengan katil-katil untuk kemudahan penumpang-penumpang merehatkan badan dan melelapkan mata, khususnya bagi mereka yang menempuh perjalanan jauh. Pada tahun 1995, sejarah telah tercipta apabila KTMB telah menawarkan perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik pertamanya yang menghubungkan Tanjung Malim ke Pelabuhan Klang dan Batu Caves ke Pulau Sebang, Tampin. Perkhidmatan kereta api elektrik ini dinamakan sebagai KTM Commuter. KTM Commuter Utara memulakan operasinya pada tahun 2015 yang menghubungkan Padang Rengas ke Bukit Mertajam dan Butterworth ke Padang Besar. Perkhidmatan KTM Commuter telah menjalankan fungsi serampang 2 mata apabila terbukti berjaya mengurangkan masalah kesesakan jalan raya di samping mengurangkan beban sara hidup rakyat dengan menawarkan kadar tambang berpatutan. Skypark Link merupakan perkhidmatan kereta api ekspres terhad di Kuala Lumpur. Laluannya menghubungkan 2 terminal pengangkutan darat dan udara iaitu KL Central di Kuala Lumpur dan lapangan terbang Sultan Abdul Aziz Shah di Subang. Skypark Link di bawah pengurusan KTMB telah memulakan operasinya pada 1 hari bulan Mei 2018, sekaligus menjadikannya perkhidmatan kereta api kedua yang menghubungkan lapangan terbang dengan ibu kota Kuala Lumpur selepas ERL Express Rail Link. Bagi tujuan kemudahan, sebuah stesen baru telah dibina terletak berhadapan dengan lapangan terbang Subang yang dinamakan Terminal Skypark. Selain menyediakan perkhidmatan kereta api penumpang, KTMB juga masih meneruskan perkhidmatan kereta api kargo atau kereta api barang. Sistem laluannya yang strategik melalui kawasan-kawasan simpanan logistik, depo-depo kontena hingga ke pelabuhan laut menjadikan KTM Cargo sebuah sistem pengangkutan yang sangat berkesan. Bagi melahirkan generasi pelapis untuk warga kerja KTMB, Malaysian Railway Academy atau MYRA telah ditubuhkan. Dengan tenaga pengajar yang berpengalaman, pembangunan modal insan kini lebih terjamin untuk memacu sektor pengangkutan awam. Lain hulu, lain parang. Lain dahulu, lain sekarang. Begitu juga dengan KTMB. Untuk menjadi kekal relevan, KTMB telah berubah mengikut peredaran zaman. kemodenan menuntut kita untuk bergerak dengan lebih cepat tanpa mengetepikan aspek keselesaan dan keselamatan. KTMB akan terus kekal di hati rakyat, bukan semata-mata kerana sejarah perkhidmatannya, tetapi kemampuannya untuk terus cekap berkhidmat demi kepentingan dan kesejahteraan bersama. KTMB, keselamatan dan ketepatan masa adalah tanggungjawab kami.
With the COVID-19 situation we are facing, we at LRMC are doing everything we can to keep LRT1 safe for our passengers, employees, and partners. We have intensified our disinfection activities to make sure that high-touch surfaces and high-traffic areas remain sanitary. We've also invested in tools and technologies such as UV cleaning. At LRMC, we are always looking for opportunities to innovate and be more efficient and effective in keeping LRT1 safe and reliable.
Kami po ay nagpapatupad ng karagdagang alituntunin upang lalo pong mapangalagaan ang inyong kapakanan lalong-lalo na po sa panahon ito ng krisis dulot ng COVID-19. These additional health and safety protocols are consistent with our mission, which is to provide all of you a safe, reliable, efficient, and comfortable journey. We hope for your utmost cooperation and understanding. Ingat po sa biyahe.
We would like to say thank you so much for your participation in this event. We were truly sorry for your inconvenience about the previous trouble. We are truly happy to have you all on board. We have more than 150 participants at Zoom and more than 150 participants at YouTube. Okay, I would like to remind you, if you still have questions regarding our previous speakers, you can send email to Pak Kris. His email address, kristianto.usman@unila@ac.id, and for Kak Firdaus to firdaus.idris@prasarana.com.my. And for those of you who have been asking about certificate, don't worry, because a certificate will be provided to all registered participants and will be sent through your email. Okay, we are now moved to our interactive discussion with our panelists. So I would like to invite again our beloved panelists, Chrissy, Julius, and Aniza.
Hi.
Hello, sorry for your inconvenience. There are a little bit trouble.
It's okay.
Okay, first of all, according to our topic today, a role of millennials in railway industry, especially in pandemic era. So first of all, I would like to ask questions. How millennials could contribute in these tough circumstances in your office, of course. Could you share your opinions and share your insights about it? Maybe from Julius?
Okay. Hi again, good afternoon everyone. So in our end, basically like what Ms. Criselda has mentioned on PNR, during the community quarantine, all of the employees aged 55 and above were discouraged to report to work. So with that, majority of the employees that are reporting to work are majority are millennials, basically. So in terms of workforce, in our case, is we are really pushing towards the knowledge transfer, because basically we understand that, well, in our case now, our line was built way back 1980s. So this is generally the first in Southeast Asia at that time. So our system is quite old at this point in time. So in terms of the knowledge and experience, there's technically a gap between experience of the generation X and the millennials. So what we're trying to do is bridge that gap by providing apprenticeship towards the not all the senior personnel or senior employees with the junior leaders of our management. So basically, with this, we are trying to improve their knowledge in terms of the rail system in the Philippines. And then with the millennials being, basically the characteristics of millennials are tech savvy. So in terms of technology, with the way communications are going now, the trend is everything is being done online. So the millennials are the ones who can easily adjust or adapt with the new normal. So one is, of course, the technology and the innovation, of course, because as we understand, also millennials are very achievement oriented. So basically, we wanted to achieve more, we wanted to learn more, and so that's why our minds are very important. The millennials' minds are very important in the future of the rail systems. So in our company, we really encourage them, the millennials, to, well, I'm part of the millennials as well, just to make it clear, to really propose ideas, propose innovations, so that for the improvement and betterment of the company. So for me, that's it. So the role of the millennials in our company is, one, is to, because they are the future. We are the future of the company. In terms of, so we need, well, the need for the millennials now is to improve in terms of knowledge and experience in the rail systems. Then, of course, is the adaptability of millennials in terms of the new normal. So the imposing of the technology, the automation of the processes. The lead personnel in our team who spearheads the projects are all millennials, basically, in terms of the automation processes, the improvement in terms of the technology, the Internet of Things. The ideas are coming from the millennials. So it's, for me, it's very important for the millennials to really step up our game and accept the fact that we are the next in line. We are the future leaders, if not the current leaders of our companies. So that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Julius. We could relate to the bridge the gap because in Inca we also experienced the same thing. Okay, and next on, maybe Chrissy would like to share your opinion about the role of millennials in your company.
Yes, I think we benefited from this move or strategy of our general manager when the time he stepped into the office way back 2016, and that is really to employ newly grads from railway engineers. We have this on-the-job training, and then we absorb them into work. So that really worked for us during this pandemic, because again, it highlighted the role of millennials based on the age, because of the comorbidities and then limitation of those ages 55 and above to go to work. And normally in a railway operations, people needs to go physically report to work, like maintenance, track works and all. The support team can go into a work from home arrangement or stay at home arrangement. However, there are a lot of physical things that should be done within the office or within the stations. So that worked for us because you almost half or even 80% of those attending the maintenance of the trains are now millennials, considered as millennials as to the age. So the technical know-how, the transfer of knowledge, we started it way back 2016, and we are reaping the advantage of that program now during the pandemic. Number two, I think the description of what a millennial is. Usually it is self-expressive, group-oriented, goal-oriented, technologically dependent. So that work also for us during this pandemic because we the millennials or us the millennials knows that we can gather information at the tip of our or at our fingertips, meaning all information can be digitalized with the proper encryption and proper security, and we can access those information at anywhere we are, even if we are in home, at our home, at the comfort of our office. So we are knowledgeable about the basic technological e-conferencing meetings. So that really keeps our in projects going. In fact, in one of our activities during this pandemic, no, since international flights are limited and even banned, the online static test for the new train, so that was conducted online together with the PT Inca, and we also want to venture that in all other projects as long as we can maintain the quality and warranty of the product that we are procuring. Furthermore, again, I really emphasize on the need of us millennials to really take advantage of the technology that we have today. That really, as informed by by our presenter a while ago, there are lots of things within the internet that we can apply to or we can learn from different webinars or certification, attending those certification programs, not only for the certificates but really to improve the way we decide, because again, what we do today is eventually the effect is that is our future, so we are affecting our own future. So, and the level of maturity that was required of us millennials during this pandemic, because again, as I've said earlier, currently our operation department is headed by a millennial, not even a 30 years old, and then our assistant general manager is also too young. So, but we don't see the age difference anymore. We take into account more on how to improve our operation regardless of the age. We are willing to learn from Gen X or from our predecessors, and we are more willing to learn at the time of pandemic because there are a lot of uncertainties. So that's one that worked for us during our deliberation and preparation of our business continuity plan. And until now, we use it to how to maximize, how to increase our capacity during this pandemic, and how to improve our operations. Because after all, we are a common carrier. We are serving the public.
Chrissy, that's very nice to hear, and I am totally agree with you. Okay, and next on, Aniza, how could millennials in your company contribute in the staff turn circle?
Yeah, talking about millennial, me myself, I'm a Malaysian-born millennial. I grew up in the years of Malaysia's development. I didn't have experience. Like unlike the baby boomers who have the experience living they have witnessed the pre-independence and also the post-independence of Malaysia, and also unlike the Generation X who have experienced living during the years of Malaysia's industrialization. So of course, we millennial here, we don't have the experience living in war, lockdown. This is the first time, but somehow we managed to survive because of the technology, right? So yeah. We are living in a millennial world and everybody speaks digital language. So talking about the contribution of millennial in KPMB, I could say that the contribution is in various ways. Those days, we can see if the person is a clerk or is a young executive. But because of this pandemic, the bright side of the pandemic, it has changed the role of the millennials differently. You know, they are no more confined to their original job descriptions. You know, like before this, maybe the person is a clerk or a young executive. But during the pandemic, he or she has to think differently how to market the product, how to gain the passengers' confidence, trust, and of course, like on the HR side, again, because I'm from the HR team, pandemic has given KTMB an opportunity, for us, for the HR team. The HR team is like, most of us are millennials nowadays. Of course, with the guidance of our CEO, it's an opportunity for us to set a new organizational momentum. We went through on restructuring our organization. Of course, not to retrench people, but figuring out on how to have the right people, the right headcounts at the right place. And KTMB's workforce is made of almost 57% of millennials. So ranging from high skilled laborers to frontline and up to middle management. Again, I could say that I just wish to share what my millennial mates have contributed in KTMB through my PowerPoint presentation, so you could see it better. May I?
Yes, of course. Are you having trouble?
I'm opening my slides. I'm sharing the slides.
Okay. So everyone, our friend from KTMB would like to present a presentation that will be brought by Ms. Anita.
Okay, this one, as you can see here, this post on our social media was on 18 March. So this one was during the, like different countries have different preventive measures, right, to break the change of COVID-19. So this one was during the movement control order. So during this phase, all sectors had to close down except for essential services, such as oil, gas, transportation, banking, and so forth. So when everyone is staying at home, railwaymen are working, like these are our front lines. And before the pandemic, their role were only as front lines. But during the pandemic until now, their role has changed differently. They are the heroes of KTMB. They are serving for the community and they are serving for the nation. When everybody is staying at home, they are risking their life every day when they report to duty. So I think they deserve a salutation, the heroes of KTMB. So again, the other role of my millennial mates that they have contributed in developing KTMB business. Of course, this one I would say more to non-rail business because the train operations frequency had to be reduced due to the stay-at-home, preventive measures. So my millennial mates, they came out with this kind of like creative stay-at-home activities, for passengers. The engagement, the communication with the passengers does not end with the reduce in the frequency of train operation. As you can see here, one of the activities is try to guess how many ETS sets are here. And the other one is like a KTMB art challenge. Like this one is, which one do you use? Which one do you use normally to commute? Now the intercity train or the ETS or the commuter, and the other one is, you can see here is selfie, taking of your selfie in line with the theme of celebrating Malaysia's independence. You know, as you all know, millennial is the pioneer of selfie, right? So another fun guessing games, contributed by my millennials, using real ETS station names for stay-at-home self-entertainment. It's kind of interesting to see this. I just figure out this. I'm like, it's really creative to see my millennium mates. They have adapted the situation and they have become more innovative, you know. Like for example, you can see here, this farmer in Malay, we call it as petani. And this one, river, in Malay, we call it sungai petani. So this sungai and petani, when we match it, it becomes the name of the ETS station, which is Sungai Petani. And you can see the engagement of the passengers here, and they're guessing the name of the ETS stations. And another one from here, you can see passengers, you know, they are given another choice, another kind of self-entertainment game to identify the ETS station. And as you can see here, the engagement from the passenger sides. Okay, this one I must share. This one went viral. It's actually a stay-home route map. It's actually a commuter route map, you know, in Klang Valley. So one of our intern, KTMB intern, together with our young executive, they transform it creatively to stay-home route map. As you can see here, as reported by our one of the local newspapers in Malaysia, Malay Mail, Phase 1 line and Phase 2 line cover stations such as the bedroom station, laptop station, toilet station, in front of TV station, refrigerator station, couch station, and even a special stop to the great outdoors at the balcony station. Right? And they also reported that social media users love KTMB's humorous posts, with the post receiving over 1,000 likes and 500 shares, as they praised the public transportation company for looking on the bright side during this difficult period. And this time when the Malay Mail reported, it was the post receiving over 1,000 likes. But as you can see here, on the comment side, it has reached more than 2.4k likes, you know. It's a kind of amazing, and you know, the job of millennials in KTMB. Their role has changed from before this. They are doing like customer service, and now their role has changed to entertainer, how to entertain passengers staying at home. Okay, this one, another one is a brilliant work by my millennial mates in KTMB. Their role before this, was on handling rail boutique at KTMB, but they has transformed the rail boutique to online merchandising, for passengers who are staying at home, to continue shopping with KTMB. And the other one is this one. As you can see, Cik Kia and Abang Dola bersatu kembali. It means that Miss Kia and Brother Dola are allowed for interstate movement. Okay, this one, interstate movement was allowed during the RMCO period, during the Recovery Movement Control Order, except for areas under Enhanced Movement Control Order, whereby all sectors resume as usual. And then this one, when the weekend husbands and the weekend wives, when they were allowed to travel to meet their families, the KTMB millennial played their role, by alerting the spouse, by alerting the weekend husbands and the weekend wives that, hey, no worries, KTMB is here to commit you. So this one is, as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, we are living in the area of millennial, everybody speaks digital language. So KTMB, through millennials ideas to millennials' innovations, KTMB has skipped, traditional advertising. It's no more on traditional advertising, but it's more on posters, tweeters, and so on. Like, for example, this one, as you can see here, when everybody is allowed for interstate movement, the checklist here, the new norm of checklist: mask check, sanitizer check, wash your hand check. What about ticket to hometown? Of course, KTMB services. And this one, the language used here, I miss you kampung. It means that I miss you hometown. This is the language of millennial. Like if you see in the traditional advertising, we don't use I miss you hometown, but this is millennial language to attract millennial audience, to attract millennial passengers, to attract millennials, target market. So this one is another one here is avoid traffic jams. Do interstate movement wisely. KTMB is here. It's comfortable and safe. The other one is why are you driving when we can drive you? Of course, KTMB.
Okay, thank you, Anida.
That's some contributions from my millennial mates.
Yes, thank you again for your insight. Well, everyone, thank you so much for staying with us. We would also like to appreciate our speakers and panelists for joining us today, for support this event. And of course, to our audience, the number of participants both in Zoom and YouTube truly exceeds our expectations. So thank you so much for your enthusiasm. So about the speakers and panelists that they have talked about, shared and discussed about insights in railway industry in pandemic era, we would like to highlight some keywords. That is to never forget to learn, never forget to adapt with the new opportunity to new changes, learn to be agile because it is how we could survive in these tough circumstances. It's all the competencies to stay in these uncertain times. And never forget to contribute to your company, even though it's just ideas, but it could be contribute a lot more that you can imagine. Okay, thank you so much. And after this, we would like to have a virtual photo session with our speakers, panelists, and of course our audience. First of all, we would like to invite our speakers and panelists. Frame ready. This is the kind of the new photo sessions in the new normal. All in one frame together, but virtually. Okay, should we say cheese?
Cheese.
Cheese. Okay. Okay. Let me count 3, 2, 1. Say cheese.
Cheese. Cheese.
Okay. And then to our audience, you can turn on your videos. We will do our best to capture all of you.
Wow, so many of them.
Wow.
So let me count 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, it's a wrap, guys. Thank you so much. It's nearly 3 hours with all of you, and it was an amazing time. Thank you so much to our speakers and panelists for their time and energy and their insight, of course. Thank you so much for our audience for your enthusiasm. On behalf of our team, we would like to apologize for any troubles, inconvenience, and misspelling and anything that made you feel uncomfortable. This event still far from perfect, but we hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Again, thank you so much. See you in the near future. Have a good day and stay healthy.
Thank you. Stay healthy, everyone.
Bye.